We need to talk about Caitlin Clark. Let's you and me talk about Caitlin Clark, since you refuse to talk about Caitlin Clark. I care deeply about you. I spent over a decade in your marketing organization. I spent several years trying to get into your organization, and it's been 3 years since I left your company. I'm just here as a friend. I care about you. I want to show you two different charts here. One, your stock price since 2021. It is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless.
What if I told you Caitlin Clark's shiny new Nike deal might be faker than a reality TV romance? Yep, turns out the swoosh might come with some serious strings, and now a former Nike insider just spilled the sneaker tea. From behind-the-scenes chaos to contract drama worthy of a Netflix special, this isn't your average endorsement story. Buckle up, because what you don't know about Caitlin's deal might just blow your socks and your Nikes right off.
Caitlin Clark was in a Nike commercial for the Super Bowl. Didn't have me fooled. Nike executives say glowing things about Caitlin Clark during quarterly sales calls. Doesn't have me fooled. Dumb chief marketing officer of Nike talks about Caitlin Clark in the same light of LeBron and Kobe. You mean the same chief marketing officer that has run Nike to the ground these last few years? Oh, it all begins to make sense.
Caitlin Clark could drop 40 points on your favorite team before breakfast and still get less love from Nike than a discount Air Monarch. You'd think the woman who single-handedly turned WNBA ratings into something people actually talk about at brunch would be treated like royalty, right? Nope. Instead, Nike's been treating her like she's an unpaid intern showing up with a broken ankle and a smile, just hoping for a pat on the head and maybe a pair of last season's clearance sneakers.
Wemby got his Alien campaign less than a year after he had been signed, and he got a player edition shoe. I guess that you're doing that with Caitlin, but I'm so confused as to why you wouldn't be doing bigger campaigns with her. You finally put her in a Super Bowl campaign with 9 other women, and all respect to them, but none of them are moving the needle quite like she is. Your tagline in that was, "You can't win, so win." One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball.
When Caitlin Clark took elbows, cheap shots, and more body checks than a hockey player, the response from Nike was, what's the corporate term for oops, our bad? Crickets. Absolute radio silence. Meanwhile, they're off printing golden statues of athletes who haven't touched a ball since Obama's first term. Caitlin's out here grinding every game like it's Game 7 of the finals, and the swoosh squad can't even send a care package.
Caitlin Clark's Nike deal might be the worst endorsement deal in the history of professional sports. You guys remember this billboard that was put up in Iowa? Well, that's one of the last times that Nike has done anything for Caitlin Clark. They promoted her more in college than they have at all the entirety of the WNBA season. She signed an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that also included her own signature shoe, which honestly, looking at it now, $28 million for 8 years is an absolute steal for this superstar, when a player like Wemby's Nike deal was rumored to be over $100 million. Caitlin has not only had an incredible rookie season, but she has also transformed the WNBA. She became the face of the league as a rookie. She was #1 in jersey sales, and all of her collaborations with Wilson sold out in minutes. So why is Nike sleeping on Caitlin?
Then came the injury, the moment every athlete dreads. One wrong step, one twisted knee, and boom, she's on the floor. Millions of fans gasped. Twitter exploded. And Nike? Well, they apparently had bigger things to worry about, like rolling out a new pastel colorway no one asked for and sponsoring another B-list influencer who thinks a layup is a yoga pose. Caitlin could have had her leg in a cast shaped like a Nike check, and they still would have acted like she was someone else's problem. It's almost impressive how a brand so obsessed with performance could completely ignore someone redefining it. They love a comeback story, unless it's written by a woman with a jump shot and a fan base bigger than most NBA teams.
How convinced yourself that you need to slow play this? Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature shoe. And we figure out a way to market them LeBron James showed up as the chosen one, and you have the chosen one. He got all of the marketing, and yet you still were able to figure out how to market Kobe as well. I realize tomorrow we are going to get a Kobe Protro, apparently. I haven't heard much about it. It's going to be $190. Very few people will be able to get it, and that will be about a year after you have signed her and after she won Rookie of the Year. This is so confusing.
Caitlin Clark is literally carrying the league on her back, and Nike's busy scribbling maybe later on her support request like she's trying to return socks. And don't get it twisted. This isn't just about money. This is about respect, basic recognition. The kind of treatment you'd expect after revitalizing an entire sport and giving Nike free promo every time she steps on the court. Instead, they're ghosting her harder than your ex after tax season. No extra promo, no injury support, no real campaign. Just the vague implication that she should feel lucky to be there. Meanwhile, they're pumping out overpriced slides and pretending everything's fine.
Clark was featured in a Nike commercial over the Super Bowl. And just to spit in everybody's faces, shout out to Nike. Nike, you play this wonderfully. You spit in everybody's faces. And again, folks, this is why you don't jump for joy when you see a company like Nike. Oh yeah, they did one good commercial for Clark, yay. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, commercial for Clark. Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark got a commercial. Woo. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Because at the end of the day, Nike is still Nike, folks. Let's watch the Super Bowl commercial, and then we'll watch the commercial that expresses Nike's real feelings, that expresses how Nike really feels about Caitlin Clark, that really shows how terrible Nike's marketing team is. No wonder why their stock is in the shit, or the shite, for my compadres overseas.
A former Nike insider even hinted that Caitlin's deal wasn't just underwhelming, it was downright insulting. Like, thanks for changing women's basketball forever, here's a gift card and a poster. The swoosh might look slick, but behind the scenes, it's giving serious meh energy to the biggest name in the game right now. If Nike's trying to fumble the most marketable athlete of her generation, they're doing an absolutely phenomenal job.